Moving on to topic two, Saudi Arabia's stock market, the Tadawul hits a 15-year high, 15 years. On Tuesday of this week, Saudi stocks reached a more than 15-year high. Those gains continued, through the rest of the week, and the Tadawul ended even higher on Thursday. Cha-ching. Investors remain optimistic in the region. According to Reuters, equities are buoyed by the good earnings season and the high level of energy prices. As always, strong oil prices are lending a helping hand. Crude oil exports rose in August for a fourth consecutive month to the highest since January 2021. The Tadawul is eyeing an IPO of its own in the coming months, Richard, as you know, and in a new report today in Bloomberg, revealed that the Tadawul is in talks to recast its small cap market called Nomu as a hub for Middle East startups and the Middle East growing startup industry. The goal there is to position Nomu in such a way that it encourages tech companies to raise money on the exchange's smaller market instead of doing so in private funding rounds. Richard, lots going on with the Saudi stock market these days.
Yeah, that was a nice report. And, stocks go up and down, but the Saudis have to be pleased. As you say, oil revenue is up. They're getting their fiscal house in order. Private sector activity is jumping. They seem to have come out of COVID in good shape, and they're showing really responsible governance. But what struck me about that was that 15-year. Now, this is an example of fruits enjoyed after a long period of labor. And 15 years ago was 2006. And in February 2006, the Saudi stock market crashed. They call it Black February. And at that point, the Saudi stock market was about 75 companies listed, maybe 600 billion market cap. But it was a bit of a Wild West. It was not a lot of institutional investors. A lot of it had gone up to 20,000, and it kept going up. People were mortgaging their houses, selling their cars, they're quitting their jobs to day trade. It was a bubble. And in February 2006, it crashed. Went down to 8,000. $1 trillion worth of value loss. Trillion in Saudi riyals, which is about 267 billion US. King Abdullah had to step in. It was catastrophic for a lot of people. And as a matter of fact, the Tadawul, that we know it, was established the next year in 2007. And another thing that most people don't know is Tadawul is owned completely by the Public Investment Fund, so by the PIF. But so they came in, they stepped in and said, okay, this is the Wild West. This isn't helpful to anybody, and much less our citizens. We need to get best practices. We need to meet all international regulations and accounting and reporting practices and everything involved in making this a reliable bourse. And so they've gone about that. So this was 2006, 2007. So 15 years later, and let's go to 2019. 2019, they're after, again, really trying to dot their I's and cross their T's and meet all expectations in terms of international investors. They're accepted into the MSCI Emerging Markets Index, FTSE, Standard & Poor's, same deal. They're 200 plus companies listed, over $2 trillion market cap. I think it's ninth in the world in terms of market size, in terms of stock market. So it's a top 10. So have you seen? So this is nice, but this is coming from a flaming wreckage in 2006, where they realized they had to really settle this out and straighten it up, and that they, in order to get what they wanted to get, which is here, being a viable conduit for capital markets, people to do IPOs and foreign investment, which you and I couldn't invest in Saudi Arabia, 8 years ago. 10 years ago, we can now, and a lot of people can. So it's, and also, as you say, they're now in a position to, at the end of the year, to IPO for around $4 billion. So it's not only is in and of itself, just this point in time, it's great, 15-year high. But when you look what that happened, what the situation was 15 years ago, it's got to be satisfying for the Saudis to set a goal and come to this point where they've done a very good job in terms of making it an attractive place to invest.
Absolutely. And the TASI is up 38% year to date. So doing very well.
Yeah, we should be invested there.
We should be invested.